Tension gripped Bamenda on Monday morning after separatist fighters or suspected separators of Nkwen, that is in the northwest region of Cameroon. And with presidential election fast approaching, voter card collection has surged across Douala. Amongst those who received their cards are citizens who registered 2 years ago but had not yet collected them. And councillors bracing up for regional council or regional elections, with some parties announcing plans to file their list, despite lacking the sufficient municipal councillors. Thought stories. Back, you can link us on our respective platforms on Canal International. Now begin from the northwest region, whereas the population of that part of the country stayed indoors in respect of a 1 week lockdown. There are several that seem to have paid back in their own coins. In Batibu, for example, the number of people got shattered by an improvised explosive device on Sunday, while a bike rider and a car was set ablaze in Bamenda this Monday. Sheriff Asali developed that story with carols from our northwest chief correspondent Hani Collins.
A person has been shot dead and a car burnt this Monday, September 15, 2025 morning at the Center Bolt neighborhood in Nkwen, in Bamenda 3 subdivision. The man shot dead is said to be a builder heading for a construction site when he was brought down by a bullet from suspected separatist fighters, probably out to enforce the Monday ghost town. Still at Center Bolt, just around where a teenage girl was killed just 2 weeks ago, a car was also set on fire after the 3 persons on board fled for their lives when they met a group of about 20 armed men patrolling the streets. Meanwhile, there were men soldiers when an improvised explosive device went off in a local beer parlor situated at Old Motor Park below the police station. The bar is said to be a recreational spot, mostly for the military. These shocking incidents come after a spontaneous outing from a week of lockdown. To enable the people catch up with other activities during the Saturday and Sunday lockdown break, even some churches adjusted their programs by holding single services on Sunday, among others.
And we are back in Douala, where deep holes and crumbling concretes have turned the old Vuri Bridge into a daily danger for commuters and heavy trucks. Many people are known to have been stalked for long hours on the bridge, and of course this has actually frustrated their moves in the town. Details with Sherifa.
This is what plying the old Wuri Bridge looks like. What was once the proud symbol of Cameroon's post-independence modernization has become a crumbling relic, slowing commerce, endangering lives, and testing the patience of commuters.
L'eau est là, mais ça cache un grand danger.
Depuis la création de ces routes-là, la route n'a été jamais bien.
Built between 1951 and 1954, the first Wuri Bridge, often called the Bonaberi Bridge, was for decades the only road and rail link connecting Douala City and Seaport to Bonaberi and the western, northwest, and southwest regions. Today, the story is starkly different. The bridge surface is scarred with potholes, and in some sections, deep gaping holes make driving hazardous.
Ça traîne l'économie.
It slows down activities because there are people hoping to get goods from the seaport to Bonaberi, but no way to cross here.
La route n'est pas praticable.
This road is just so impassable, and when it rains, it becomes worse. Meanwhile, this passage was meant just for bike riders. We are meant to ply this road and not the new bridge.
Nous qui devons passer ici par là-bas de l'autre côté.
For heavy trucks, cross sections,
c'est en panne.
This truck has a breakdown. It was caused by the hole, which the driver had no idea was there. Vehicles fall in this huge puddle every day. The hole has grown bigger and deeper. When you get in that hole, you are soaked to your tummy level. Calls are growing louder for the rehabilitation of the bridge, which they seem has been abandoned.
And despite insecurity and rains, Munya Market in Buea, southwest of Cameroon, is actually bustling after what was the separatist lockdown that occurred in that part of the country. Ambo Gladys Dibang reports.
A busy atmosphere at the Munya Market in Buea, Sunday, September 14, as hundreds of residents turned out to purchase essential goods despite ongoing security concerns and muddy terrain that made access difficult for both vehicles and pedestrians. The market, one of the most vital trading hubs in the Fako division, reflected the resilience of the local population, although the prevailing insecurity has kept some farmers from reaching their farms, leading to scarcity and price hikes in certain items. Vendors still showed up in strong numbers, actively engaging with customers in hopes of making good sales. Even taxi drivers at the Mai 17 junction echoed positive outlook.
I'm from Munya Market. Things have been busy. That means the place have been busy. It seems as if things are fine. Everybody is buying things.
However, not all voices were as hopeful. A business owner in Moliko offered a more cautious perspective.
The business is not really moving. For this week, we have been in the house. Things are in the store. I have things in the fridge. I'm unable to sell. Yes, because we have been in the house for 1 week, and from all indications, it's like we are still going to continue.
Amid these challenges, the Buea Council, backed by government and local elites, has ramped up efforts to improve the town's sanitation. Truck drivers were seen working with council staff to maintain cleanliness in the market and surrounding areas, a gesture welcomed by many market goers.
With presidential election fast approaching, voter card collection has actually surged across the city of Douala. Amongst those who received their voters' cards were citizens who registered 2 years ago but had yet to collect them. Once more,
lines have been forming outside various branches of Elections Cameroon, Elekam in Douala, as citizens make last-minute efforts to collect their voters' cards. The upcoming presidential election has triggered a renewed sense of urgency among many who had previously delayed or struggled to obtain their cards. Minga Steve is one of such voters. After registering 2 years ago, he had made several unsuccessful attempts to collect his card. Today, he finally walked out of Elekam's office in Douala 2 with a smile and a card in hand.
I collected my voter's card today, 2 years after I registered. I registered in 2023 and I finally received it today. I'm happy that I'll now be able to exercise my civic rights. I registered in April this year and was told to return at the end of August to collect my voter's card. When I arrived, I was asked to come back on September 7. I deliberately didn't go that day, but today I came and have finally signed for and collected my voter's card. I'm happy.
The scene is similar at other Elekam offices across the city. Many potential voters are streaming in and out, the affluence palpable.
There is a large turnout this morning at the Lekam office, but the services are fast. I encourage others to come and collect their voter's card too. It was not difficult for me to collect my card. I registered this year in 2025 and I'm glad to have received my voter's card. I'm happy because I'll now be able to vote.
With just weeks to go before the presidential vote, Elekam has encouraged citizens to collect their cards as soon as possible. Many here say they are ready to make their voices heard.
Thanks very much, Beatrice Ambugladis Tiban. And 6 months into his mandate, the Right Reverend Mickey Hans, the moderator of the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon, has come under pressure from the Truth House that is calling on him to implement or for failing to implement visible reforms in the church. The group says he's still under the spell of the influence of his predecessor's leadership style and has called for him to take a bold and independent step. Morindi reports.
6 months after Right Reverend Mickey Abia was inducted as moderator of the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon, PCC, the Truth House is raising alarm over the lack of meaningful reforms within the church.
But if you look at the case of the Presbyterian Church, the outgoing moderator is everywhere where the sitting moderator is, and it's a problem. And then even when he comes to those occasions, he wears his own pectoral cross. That pectoral cross is supposed to be worn only by the city moderator.
Despite multiple letters including congratulatory messages and strong appeals to lead with integrity, members of the Truth House say the new moderator appears clipped and still influenced by the decisions and errors of his predecessor.
Truth House, in all its good intention to assist the moderator in his work, has not succeeded because he's still tied to the old order.
As the PCC enters the harvest season, the Truth House condemns the continued suffering of the laity, Christians who finance nearly every church project, but remain marginalized and unrewarded.
So we are saying don't levy people. Secondly, we say that people, when they collect this money, people do not know what the money does.
Well before the elections, the group had been advocating for a corruption-free, Christ-centered church. They now regret that their warnings are being ignored.
The Christians know that Truth House is not an opposition group in the church. We are talking about the body of Christ and spirituality.
At the weekend press conference, September 13, the Truth House issued a fresh call for moderator Mickey Abia to fully assume his role, resist manipulation from the former bureau, and rescue the PCC from his current decline, reminding him that over 2 million Christians are watching and hoping for change.
Thanks very much, Maureen D. And from September 15, we are talking health. From September 15 to 17, Douala residents will be receiving free consultations on complex diseases thanks to the Myote International Hospital in Chennai, India, that is working in partnership with Polyclinic Lemevey in Douala. Sherifa Saleh says the experts are already around.
Polyclinic Merveille de Conquête, in collaboration with Myote International from India, is offering free consultations for respiratory and complicated diseases between September 15 to 17, 2025.
This initiative is not only a service to patients, but also a golden opportunity for us, general practitioners, to learn directly from our senior specialists. By working alongside them, we enrich our skills and experience, ensuring that even after they leave, we can continue to deliver the same high level of expertise within our facility. This campaign was designed with compassion at its core to provide care for patients suffering from critical illnesses who cannot afford treatment abroad. Our ultimate goal is to build and retain medical excellence here in Cameroon.
The consult consultations will be carried out by internationally recognized specialists from Youth International in India.
I have come here to, examine people whoever has these problems in their gastro. I deal with diseases of the stomach, the intestines, the liver, and the pancreas. So whoever has symptoms related to this, I will examine them, do the necessary tests, and give the proper treatment.
I'm Dr. Pradeep from cardiology. I just came 3 months back. I've seen that time, I've already seen, I think, 70 to 80 patients. I try to diagnose them what is there, because many people who have came here, they were suffering from some discomforts. We diagnose them, we have provided some solution with some treatments. Now I'll try to follow up them again, how they are doing.
The humanitarian medical campaign, which began in April 2025, has already reached over 300 patients, providing diagnosis, treatment, and follow-up care. The initiative underscores the clinic's commitment to improving healthcare delivery and ensuring that specialized expertise is accessible to the community.
It's really satisfying to see that this hospital has almost all the facilities that I need, especially the state-of-the-art X-ray machine, ultrasound machine is available. All the infrastructure is really impressive.
Among them is Dr. Pradeep Kumar, senior international cardiologist, who has been impressed with the clinic's modern infrastructure and its ability to host high-level medical interventions.
Some patients where even intervention is not possible, non-surgical intervention is not possible, we refer them for a surgery. But nowadays, most of the cardiac treatments are possible by non-surgical way.
For Douala residents, this is a unique opportunity to benefit from world-class expertise without costs. Hope to patients who might otherwise go untreated.
Sherifat Saleh drawing the curtains for this edition of the 650 with me, Kejan Henry Athembe, thanking you for being there with us. DPG is just right ahead with the brief, the actuality. Good day.